Alright, we're going to replace the spark plugs here. I went to the Chrysler dealership and they gave me this particular number for the OEM spark plugs, RC12LYC. I went to AutoZone, had the guy type it in, and it showed that these are the exact ones that they're going to put in at the dealership. Some people probably use a different one, but since this Jeep doesn't really have any upgrades, I don't necessarily want to change, anything that it's already been used to using. So the reason why we're doing this is because the other day on the way home, we were going to the beach. This Jeep started sputtering, backfiring, stalling, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So we're going to start with the spark plugs first. And what I've done is, in a previous video that I did, is I removed this AC compressor because we don't use the AC in this Jeep. This is our beach rig. And so what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to change these spark plugs. So I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to do this one at a time. And man alive, look at this right here. Look at this. Hold on, let me show you guys. Holy crap, this is crazy. Look what happened right here. Can you see that? Look at this. That thing is completely trashed. Look at this. You think that might be a problem? I think that might be a problem. That's pretty interesting. So maybe this spark plug replacing is going to take care of this problem here. Well, so I guess it'd be fair to say that that spark plug is no good, given that this part that piece right there just came out. So we're going to go ahead and replace that and clamp this camera down here. I believe it takes a 16 millimeter. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to gap this, and they recommend it to be from 0.033 to 0.038. So that's tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So from 33 thousandths to 38 thousandths. We're going to gap these at 35 thousandths, and 35 thousandths is right there in the middle of 0.030 and 0.040. And so we're just going to take our little tool here and we're just going to slide that over and until we get about right there. Now these right here look like it's gapped pretty big, pretty wide. It's right at about 0.38, and that's fine. If you need to, you might have to kind of press in a little bit and do it again. Guess I need to get some of that crap off the back there. So right here, this is a 16 millimeter socket, and that's what I'm going to use to remove that one that you see there. Nice and easy. We'll get it to where we can hand turn it. What I'll end up doing is just removing this ratchet drive. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Pull that little booger out. Let's take a look at this. So that plug looks like it has seen better days. In fact, you can't even really see any markings on it. I would probably say that these might be the original plugs. And check out the gapping on this. This thing goes all the way to 75 thousandths, and they should be gapped over here at 30 thousandths. And look at the play on that. That is unbelievable. So here we have the new one. Go ahead and put that guy in there. I like to hand start it first because I don't want to cross thread these threads. Get it kind of in there, and we're just going to hand tighten it with our 16 millimeter. Now some people may use a special spark plug socket, but this right here will work just fine if you don't have the rubber boot with it. The rubber boot inside kind of makes it nice. I say a rubber boot, it's just like a little rubber grommet that's inside, but there we go. So we have that one nice and hand tight. So now we're just going to just snug it. We don't want to over tighten it. You could have put some anti-seize on that, but, and just, there we go. And so the first one is done. We're going to take our boot, Das Boot, and we're going to put it back on. Make sure you hear that clicking sound. When it clicks, that means it's connected. And so now what we're going to do is I'm going to stop the camera, I'm going to move the light, we're going to do the second, third, and fourth, and just keep going from there, and hopefully this takes care of it, and see what happens. Alright, the second one might be a little harder to see because of all the hoses and stuff, but here's your second one that we're going to do. Pop that boot off of there, set it aside. We're going to repeat the same process here. See, that looks like a newer plug in there. It's interesting. So, let's see what we got going on here. There's no telling what this Jeep has seen, been through, what's been done to it, what hasn't been done to it. There's no telling. Some people take care of their stuff, and some people buy stuff to tear up and get crazy and do all that fun stuff. So this Jeep may have seen a little bit of both. Alright, let's pull this booger out and see what we got. You can see through all the hoses and stuff. Maybe. Come on, buddy. There we go. So this one looks like it's been replaced recently. In fact, it has the same plugs we're putting in there, the RC12 LYCs. And so we're going to check the gapping on that one. I'm just curious what this one's gapped at. You can see that one right there is gapped at about 42 thousandths right there or so. Careful not to drop this plug. It's hard to kind of see with all the shadowing here. Trying to get the best angle for you guys. Drop that one in place. Alright, so now we're ready for cylinder number 3. I'm going to remove this guy here, maybe. Come on, little buddy, drop the purse. Ooh, wee. Okay, that's interesting. Guess I need to get my wife to come out here and help me. My Lord. There we go. Thanks, honey. See, that plug looks pretty good. I wonder what happened with that first one. I wonder if it's getting a bad fire or something. It could be burnt up valves, or gosh, there's no telling what's going on here. I'm not getting a code on anything, so I don't know where to begin. I've looked in forums, and forums, you know, say, well, it could be this. They said it could be sensors, it could be fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator, spark plugs. I mean, there's just a ton of different things that it could be that's causing it to spark and, you know, sputter and backfire and do all that crazy nonsense. So we'll start with the obvious here, the spark plug. So here we go. Same thing here. This one looks like it's relatively new-er, so to speak. Let's check the gap on this one. I'm curious. Just kind of see what it's at. It's off a little bit. It's probably like right at 42 thousandths, which that's not too much off compared to that first one. So we're gonna go ahead and gap this guy again. Now we're off for number 4. That one was pretty easy to remove. Set it aside. Looks like a newer plug. Newer, not new, but newer. And let's see if they can get in here. There we go. Nice and easy. Should be able to loosen that one by hand. Yeah, Jeep. Just empty every pocket. That's what that stands for. Although, for what we've put into this one and what we've done to it, can't really find anything for the price that we've already put into it with the lift kit it has and the front end conversion. Probably about $8 grand into it. Okay, so let me show you what this sounds and feels like. It's gonna be kind of a weird video here. I'm already doing 55, it looks like. So, man, the acceleration with these new plugs is just, it's night and day. I mean, it's just crazy how that makes such a huge difference. Now, granted, my top speed is still pretty slow because, you know, the final drive and these big tires, but man, even in 4th gear right now, of course, my speedometer's not working, but you can see the RPMs. You know, you can go get in your Jeep, look at 3,000 RPMs at 4th gear, and 5th gear right there, that's probably about 62-ish, 63-ish maybe. It's hard to tell without the speedometer, and then again, my speedometer is off because of the bigger tires, but I think this fixed the problem. I mean, all my vital signs are looking good. We're heading back to the house, so I think that worked, folks. Yoo-hoo!